It's kind of going viral right now, but the way he yells beggar, get these beggars out of here. Like, he's a little too good at saying that, but in all seriousness, he's like, plays that role so well, you really do not like him. Not only is she fine, not only is Anna Hathaway fine, she was holding Odysseus down. No girls are doing that nowadays. Like, where is my Anne Hathaway? Let you not respond to your girl for a week, you done. It's gone. It's up. It's up. She's already texted 40 different guys. You know, shout out Anne Hathaway, Odysseus' wife. They don't make them like that anymore. So last night I saw the Odyssey. Is it worth it? Most definitely. I saw it in IMAX, so I saw it in the full frame 70mm that he shot in. I got the sick-ass poster to prove it, and it's probably one of the best movies I've seen in a while. Christopher Nolan is a genius. My boy did it again. My boy Nolan. My boy Chris. He did it again. Right away, I'm going to give the Odyssey a 9.7 out of 10, in my personal opinion. I gave it 5 stars on Letterboxd. I also gave Interstellar 5 stars on Letterboxd, so that should kind of tell you how I feel about this movie. Now, I'm going to get like some of the base stuff out of the way initially in the video, and I'll save like spoilers and like the actual story of the movie later on. So people who haven't seen the movie yet, you can just watch like the beginning of this video and come back to it later. Or watch the movie first, then come back to this video, but I'll try to keep the spoilers to a minimum. If you're a fan of the Christopher Nolan movies, this is a no-brainer. You know, I think it's better than Oppenheimer. Up there with Interstellar. I don't know if I would say it's better. It might be like 1A, 1B right now. It comes like Inception. I think it's better than Inception. So if you're a Christopher Nolan fan and you haven't gone and seen the Odyssey yet, what are you doing? What are you doing, dude? He did it. He did it again. Go watch that. It's almost a 3-hour long movie. I think at the end it could have been a little bit shorter, but I think overall it doesn't really feel that way. I checked my phone probably like twice just to see the time. It was like at 6:30 I watched it. It didn't start till like 6:50. But overall it was a great movie and definitely worth the money and your time. So what made this movie so great? So obviously we all know Christopher Nolan is a very good director. He makes these grand scales, these worlds seem so real. Not to mention that he makes all his movies so loud. I don't think I've ever been to a movie where like my ears are literally drummed out.
What did he say?
But to be fair, that makes it more entertaining, so I can't lie, that it is fun. However, my ears, yeah, they're a little bloodshot, so just be prepared for that. Firstly, I want to go over all the celebrities or actors that are in this movie. I'm gonna be real, this kind of like set the standard for me. I feel like every movie should almost be like this. Everybody in the movie I know. This is the most movie I've ever seen. Side characters are famous actors. Important characters, famous actors. And I think it kind of makes sense for the Odyssey because it's like the oldest story ever. So like, I feel like it needs to be a historic film, if that makes sense. You don't see this many actors, these famous A-list actors and actresses on one film. And I think it encapsulates the Odyssey the best. I think everyone does a very good job. We'll get into that a little bit later. You got Zendaya, you got Robert Pattinson, you got Tom Holland, you got Anne Hathaway, you got Matt Damon, you got Travis Scott in there. You got so many people, and I'm missing more people. But again, for a story this old, I think it only makes sense to have the most historic like cast ever, in my personal opinion. I think it makes a lot of sense to me. With that being said, Robert Pattinson, probably my favorite character. My favorite performance is by him. He was kind of it's kind of going viral right now, but the way he yells beggar, get these beggars out of here.
Somebody get these beggars out of here.
Like, he's a little too good at saying that, but in all seriousness, he's like, plays that role so well, you really do not like him. And just like subtle things. I think Robert Pattinson, this movie just increased his likability for me as an actor. I think he's honestly pretty underrated. I don't know if underrated is the right word. I think a lot of people do like him and are probably one of his favorite actors of all time. So maybe I'm lying on underrated. I just think this goes to show how vast he can act. Again, like little nuances when he's like getting pressed about his past, not joining, you know, the expedition to Troy and stuff. And like you could see, like he plays it so well where you can see the light in his eyes where he's like almost twitching and like you could tell he's nervous. So again, I think Robert Pattinson played really well. Tom Holland did a great job. I think he's great. Matt Damon was fine. Anne Hathaway was great. Zendaya was good. I feel like Zendaya specifically just like she wasn't in the film as much, but again, I thought we were watching Dune Part 3 for a little bit. We saw that preview beforehand and the way she was dressed, I think she's Athena. It felt like I was watching parts of Dune. She's like got the same fit and everything, but I digress. So yeah, overall, a lot of good actors in the movie. They all play a really good role, play a significant role, I think. Everyone has enough screen time, in my opinion. I think the one person who should have gotten more screen time, though, is Agamemnon. I probably said that wrong. Dude, his aura in that movie, I wish he got more screen time. His, like, outfit was just sick. Christopher Nolan, I mean, whoever was the costume design for them Dude, he looked sick, bro. Some of my favorite scenes are just with him just aura farming. I'm gonna be so real. Again, once the like Trojan War, they finally get the gates open, and he literally just walks in while everybody's running around him. Dude, that scene alone was fucking sick. But there are hella scenes in the movie like that. And we can kind of go over that now. I think some of the sea shots also got when they're like on the boats and stuff. Again, Christopher Nolan just makes these scenes seem so grand and so cinematic. Like every time I watch a Christopher Nolan movie, I'm watching a movie, if that makes sense. Like it's kind of hard to like describe it in any other way. Like obviously it's a movie, it's gonna look like a movie. But I feel like there's some tricks and how he frames things, it just makes it way more grand and way more immersive, in my opinion. Everything just looks so well lit, so well shot, and it's just overall just a great film in that aspect. So I feel like there's always like three main things about films that you gotta worry about. It's like the story, the acting, and then like how it's shot, like frames and stuff like that. Next, we're gonna go over like the plot of the movie basically, and this is probably where you want to skip out if you haven't seen the movie yet. Anyway, if you haven't seen the movie yet, cut it off here. If you've already seen it, let's keep it going. So basically, Odysseus is going out on an expedition. Jesus Christ. Expedition, basically conquer against the people at sea, right? If I'm not mistaken, that's basically why he goes out. Obviously, he gets lost. He goes to all these islands. He fights that war. The Trojan War. Again, I'm not a history buff. I'm pretty sure he was going out to the sea to like fight the people, and then he ran into like, that's when they did the Trojan Horse War. So they're landed, they make a horse out of the rafts. They don't tell one guy because they need him to believe it. The Trojans get it, they take it as a gift, bring it back. Again, this whole scene is just sick. Like he makes it look so good. It's in like flashbacks too. You know, you got people in the horse, like obviously it's in the sea, so it's like half of them are like drowning underneath, which is kind of weird and crazy. He talks about that. Obviously, nightfall comes. They get out. They tell their boys to come and, come up when this is all planned. Kill all the guards. They go to the gate, open the gate, and that's when that dope ass scene with the Lord is there. Again, I'm just calling him Lord. I think that's what they call him as, but I can't say his name. I don't know. Odysseus is fucking commander, whatever. Anyway, Aura Farms. They do that. Odysseus has a really rough time grasping his head around that. Odysseus sees all of this shit and, whatever. He's ready to go home. So they're trying to make their way back and they get lost. They get all this fucking bullshit going on. They land on this one island. They They interrogate this one old guy and he's like, "You're not going to like what's going down. You're not going to like what's going down." He's like, "What? What you mean? What you mean, cuh?" And so the first island they go to is the Cyclops. Not gonna lie, that shit was scary as fuck. For a little bit, like it just looks so creepy. And I saw on the online makings of that scene, it looks sick. Like I think they just used CGI for like some of the parts, but it looked very live. Like it wasn't like animatronics are all CGI. They use like real life things. So that I don't know how actors do that. I'd be shitting myself if I saw that shit. I don't care. But again, it takes like 2 days for them to get out of there because they can't kill the Cyclops while it's sleeping. Because they can't open, because they get caught in that cave. They finally do get out. Odysseus shoots one more arrow at him because he spits bro's helmet out. And he was pissed. Then it chases him down. Again, very grand scale. And, that was like their first like mess up, right? And then they finally get back on the boat and then they're out to sail again. So that was the first one. Again, Cyclops was pretty spooky. Like it looked scary. Like it was giving me Attack on Titan vibes. I'm not gonna lie. Like especially when he eats that one guy. He eats a guy and it's like, it literally looks like not only Attack on Titan, but that one painting. I literally know who it is. I literally did a fucking thing on him in school. What's his name, bro? Whatever. I'm gonna put it on the screen, but y'all know what I'm talking about. This dude, this painting, this guy. This is what that reminded me of. They get back on the ships. I'm trying to remember because there's a lot going on. So I think they go next. Yeah, in another island they go to. They're off course, so they gotta land. They're running out of supplies. Go to this island and it's like this tall baby face motherfucker. And you're like, what the hell? Obviously, he's dressed in all the armor that you see in the posters. So, like, obviously, this is like the giants. But yeah, he's like a baby, but he's as tall as them. Starts screaming. These giant motherfuckers come out. They look like juggernauts. Like, they're completely metal out. And they're just walking these boys down. They're not even like running. They're just walking shit down. Punching trees and shit. That scene was dope. Obviously, again, grand scheme of things makes you feel little. Again, very well shot. They get back to the boat. A lot of people die, obviously. Yeah, they're back on the ocean. I think that was a great scene again. The giants are sick. Their armor is sick. And obviously, they couldn't really do shit about it. All right, next we're on another island. Pretty deserted, except for this one cabin that they go to. But on the way up there, there's like all these tigers, bears, tigers, pumas, all this crazy shit going on. They get to this one. A lot of food there. Then they run into this lady. This lady is like, "What the fuck are y'all doing? Please don't hurt me." Acting all sad and shit. They're like, "Don't worry, we're not here to hurt you. Like, we're just hungry." feeds him. Whole time, this bitch is a witch. Holy shit. Like, kind of got a feeling like once you got off those 2 islands, you kind of knew like every island they go to now is pretty fucked. So you knew something was up. But yeah, this bitch is a witch. Makes them eat, and like their appetite is like, she like got them hooked, like got them in the trance so they can't stop eating. And then she turns these motherfuckers into pigs. So my first thought was that one Twitter viral meme that goes around was like, hey man, and they're pigs. Hey man. I can't believe they made that. I can't believe Christopher Nolan made that tweet into a movie. I can't believe he made a whole movie based around that tweet. Okay, in all seriousness, very unnerving. Like, her, like, turning the dudes into pigs is kind of giving me, like, it was cringing me out, like, giving me a little spooky vibes. Just unnerving enough where I could still watch, but unnerving enough to be like, yeah, that's probably what was going, like, that's creepy. Like, that's probably, you know, that's how it would feel. I forgot to mention, they left Odysseus back with the boats to kind of, like, watch over everything. It's kind of starting to get a mutiny going on. Like, they're starting to, like, go against bro. Meanwhile, this whole time, I should be mentioning, his son, Tom Holland, is looking for him, right? It's been years. He's looking for this boy. Again, I don't know the exact timelines. I don't know if that was what was going on while Tom Holland was, like, looking for his dad. Tom Holland is, like, every time you see Tom Holland, I think that's the main timeline. Anyway, so he's going around. Whole time, again, Anne Hathaway, forgot her name. Anne Hathaway is holding it down. Not only is she fine, not only is Anne Hathaway fine, she was holding Odysseus down. No girls are doing that nowadays. Like, where is my Anne Hathaway shorty? She was holding Odysseus down for years. My boy was gone for years. She was holding it down. She said, nah, I'm not fucking with y'all. I don't want y'all. I don't want y'all. Get away. Get away. Shorty's not doing that nowadays. Let you not respond to your girl for a week. You done. It's gone. It's up. It's up. She's already texted 40 different guys. You know, shout out Anne Hathaway, Odysseus' wife. They don't make them like that anymore. Anyway, she's holding it down. Her kingdom is kind of getting uneasy because they need a new king. They think the people from the sea are going to start wrecking shit. I love Christopher Nolan in that sense where he's like just giving you like seeds. Like, you know, people from the sea, but it ends up being there are the people from the sea, right? So really like that going on. Obviously, Robert Pattinson is like your secondary villain. He's being a fucking cuck. He's just being a bitch the whole time, trying to be king, while cramming Odysseus' wife's like servant lady. Like, she's giving him the scoops. And then he gets to the point where he's like, you know what? I gotta kill Odysseus' son before he gets back because I want to be the heir of the throne. She's playing, like, she's bullshitting. Odysseus' wife is not playing. She might just give it to her son. Can't do that. So he makes a plan on to kill him. Odysseus' son is in Sparta asking about his dad, trying to figure something out. Obviously, the king of Sparta is kind of giving him the rundown of what's going down. Back to the witch that we're at. The witch has turned all the boys into pigs. So I went back to tell you all that shit's going on. Is like, it's kind of like a grand scheme right now of like everyone's like undermining Odysseus. Like, it's just like getting to that point. Like, Zeus's law is broken. Everyone's kind of going against bro. No one's doing shit, right? So Odysseus is left with the ship or with the boats, and he sees this doe elk. I forget what it is. And, you know, he's like, I'm going to get food for us even if y'all don't find any, right? He shoots it, finds out, he walks up to it, turns out it's a man. It's literally a person. So, like, when he killed it, it turned into a human. So he's like, oh, shit, that's not good. But, again, good thing he did that. Because then he's like, you know what? It's been a minute. I haven't seen my boys. Let me go check them out. Goes up, sees all the pumas and shit. And obviously, it's starting to click. It's starting to click not only for him, but also for you. Like, you know, oh, this is weird. So he gets up there, finds the witch, and she's feeding the pigs, which we know is his soldiers. He probably doesn't know it right away, but he probably has an idea. So he walks in, he's like, what is going on? Like, have you seen my men? Yada, yada, yada. Again, very unnerving. Like, you're wondering, is he going to eat it? Is he not? You know, oh, fuck. Like, she's getting weird about it. Then he sees his, like, commander-in-chief or, like, his, again, I don't know who the lieutenant is. Great actor, though. Love him. He sees his ring, and he's like, oh, hell no. That just confirmed it. So he doesn't eat the soup. Instantly is like, nah, bitch, we're not doing this. So he doesn't eat the thing, kind of gets to a point. He eventually convinces her to, like, let him go. And, like, bro, we're just trying to get home. Like, we not on that shit. Convinces her. She turns them boys back into boys. Or I guess he turns the pigs back into his men. And they get up out of here. His lieutenant's like, dude, you gonna let her live? That's crazy. He's like, listen, dude, get your ass on. Like, we can't kill her. She's a fucking god. She's been blessed by the gods. We can't kill her ass. And that's kind of, like, the theme of the movie, right? Like, they said, like, a beggar could be a god. So you got to treat beggars and people like that, like, all the same. Treat people as you would want to be treated, basically. Which is a dope, like, underlying theme of a movie. Again, something I took to heart. This bitch is a witch, and she kind of gives him the rundown, like, you need to do this, this, and this. Like, she, like, knows all what's gonna happen. Basically saying, like, you will make it, your boys won't. And he's like, fuck that, I'm gonna make sure they live. Tells them where to go, basically. So they start heading that way. So they get back on the sea, get to this island. She told them, like, if you get to this island, you can't eat the cattle, because it's the god's cattle. And you eat the cattle, you know, you will be cursed, right? So they sit on this island, and the wind won't stop. Like, they can't get back on the ship, so it's probably been like a week. They eat all their food, and, you know, in the middle of the night, he wakes up, he sees a fire, he goes over there, he sees one of the, you know, his boys are eating the cattle. Whoop-de-doo. So he doesn't eat the cattle, his boys do. He's pretty much pissed. He's like, all right, well, guess what? Y'all are dead. Like, I try to tell y'all, she told me if y'all eat the cattle, y'all are gonna die. I try to tell y'all. So, anyway, they eats the cattle, they're pissed, but the wind stops. So, like, all right, bet, let's go. I might be a little out of whack right now. I can't remember when they do that, because I think after that they get separated. They're told to go through a whirlpool. They make it through that, but they don't listen to bro. They go down the other route. They get some boys get eaten. Then they finally get to, like, the Hades spot. So they make a sacrifice. They see the Hades. They start talking to the boys. So they talk to the dude who was, like, the first guy on the Trojan horse. He's like, why didn't you trust me? Like, this is fucked up. And he basically says, like, hey, man, like, it wasn't my fault. You know, I had to, you know, I'm sorry this happened to you. But then he basically tells them, like, hey, let Robert Pattinson know when I get back, like, you need to make him feel shame. And he's like, all right, can do. Next, he sees his commander-in-chief, basically, again, the Aura Man. He's like, what the fuck, bro? You dead? How did you die? Shorty, like, bro killed his daughter so he could be in power, right? So his wife didn't forget that. You know, he comes home. He's like, I did it, babe. Stabs him right in the throat. Also another jump scare. So if you saw that, you probably know what I'm talking about. Goddamn, that scared the shit out of me. I wasn't ready for that. Like, I knew my Uncle Richie was literally like, I knew he was going to get killed by her, but he didn't know it was going to be that quick. So that was pretty much a jump scare for both of us. So yeah, so he's dead. He's like, damn, Commander, that's fucked up. And then eventually Hades is like, listen, dude, tell your boys to get gone. And he's like, all right, I'll get gone. That's when he tells them, like, listen, bro, it's about to get wicked. It's going to get wicked for you. But, you know, you haven't defied the gods, basically. This is what's going to happen. You're going to survive, your boys are not. I think I was confused. I did mix the plot up a little bit. I think the whirlpool and shit happens now, and, like, the cattle thing happened later. So anyway, I think this is where, like, again, whirlpool, the island, and then, yeah. So they get to the island, they eat the cattle, blah, blah, blah. Now they go back on sea. It's fucked. They can't see shit. Water is going crazy. They're like, it's fucking pitch black. Again, shot it so well. Again, it makes you think, like, bro, how did they ever sail the seas without, like, technology? Like, how the fuck did they ever do that shit? Like, I would never go for that. Also, why would you sail the seas when you pissed off Poseidon? Like, you ate Poseidon's cattle? Fuck did you do that? What did you think was gonna happen? Anyway, ship gets cut into two. Odysseus is on one side, he survives, and then, like, obviously his boys are all on the other side, never sees him again. He washes up on this new island with, I forget their name, bro. I don't know their name. But I think it's a regular person. I really don't know. It might be a god. But she helps him out. She, like, feeds him wild lotus. Get back into the swing of things. It actually fucks up your memory. I meant, like, his body. So this boy's eating wild lotus. He got a little too fried, I like to say. Like, he got a little too high off the lotus. So he finds out eventually that he's been there for, like, 7 years. So that was in my review for on Letterboxd. I try to be funny on those. You know, sometimes you need a little break from your main hoe to hang out with your side hoe and do some wild lotus. You know, totally a joke. Because in the theme is, like, he knows he doesn't want to, he doesn't know it, but he doesn't want to go back yet. He wasn't ready to live the atrocities that he had done. And then when he gets back, he kind of realizes and lets people know that he was the people to see. When he has the flashbacks of the Trojan War with the Trojan horse, like, he broke Zeus's law. He was so worried about other people breaking Zeus's law, he technically did it. And, you know, was killing people, pillaging and shit. So he wasn't ready to, like, face that, you know, in front of Zeus, I guess. Anyway, so he's been gone. He's on this island getting shroomed up, and, you know, his son makes it back. Robert Pattinson is trying to send a hit on him, but Odysseus finally comes back at the right time. He kind of swoops in, finds out about the ploy to kill his son, you know, talks to his old guy, the old blind dude, finds out where to go, saves his son. His son doesn't know it's him yet. He just looks like a beggar. And, you know, again, underlining theme, treat beggars with respect, basically. And, you know, that comes back to bite Robert Pattinson in the eyes. He's like, get these beggars out of here. Again, he's saying with the hard R. So basically, I think this is where the movie kind of gets a little bit longer at the end. Anne Hathaway is like, listen, if y'all want to be my husband, it's time. You got to do this. And it's something that only he could do. He saw it at the beginning of the movie. It's only something he could do. Everyone can't even get the bow ready. Bro gets it ready. Odysseus is there. He gets it ready. Shoots the arrow through. He did it. Then he's like, I want all these motherfuckers to die. So, he locked all those storage shit up. He starts like plopping these boys off one by one. Eventually they start fighting. They do end up getting weapons down there, but he fucks them all up. Gas. The fight scenes are pretty lit. Again, the Batman influence is there, but he does a really good job making it seem, realistic in a sense. Robert Pattinson is backseat gaming, telling these boys, bro, pick it up, kill him, get the spears, get the shield. Like, bro, you do something. In the end, he wraps it all up by shaming Robert Pattinson for being a bitch and, coming back to his wife. And then at the end, it is basically all wrapped up in, they do exactly what his wife wanted to do from the get up. And then, Tom Holland is king. Overall, obviously, I want to rewatch it to kind of get a better understanding of it all. But on the first watch, it's a masterpiece. Overall, a great movie. Again, a little on the longer side for me, but I have no problem with that as long as it's worth it. And I think the Odyssey is definitely worth it. So let me know what you guys thought of the movie. This is just a kind of review / podcast. I don't even know what you want to call this, but probably do a new series like this. Start reviewing movies. And just wanted to get this out there because it is kind of topical right now. So appreciate you guys watching, and I will see you on the next expedition. Peace.